Let me ask you something real. Have you ever wondered why some men seem to have this magnetic pull over women, without chasing, without begging, without even trying too hard? It's not their looks, not their money, not even their smooth talk. The truth is, women are drawn to men who hold their ground, men who set boundaries. Here's the secret. Boundaries aren't about pushing women away. They're about showing self-respect. And nothing is more attractive to a woman than a man who values himself. Because when you protect your time, your energy, and your heart, women can feel it. And it makes them crave your attention even more. If you're tired of guessing what women want, and you're ready to finally understand the psychology that makes you irresistible, then you're in the right place. This is Psychology of Desire, and today we're going to break down the 4 boundaries men set that make women crave them. But before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon, because every week I'll give you insights into female psychology that most men never learn in their lifetime. And missing out could mean losing the kind of woman you've always wanted. All right, let's dive in. 1. The boundary of self-respect. A man who respects himself becomes a man women can't ignore. Self-respect is the first boundary that separates you from the crowd. Think about it. How many men bend over backward, compromise their values, and tolerate disrespect just to keep a woman interested? Too many. And here's the kicker. Instead of making her stay, it pushes her away. When you set the boundary of self-respect, you silently communicate that you will not allow anyone, even the woman you're interested in, to treat you like less than you deserve. Women notice when you don't laugh off disrespect, when you don't allow someone to play games with your time, and when you don't beg for attention. That unshakable confidence hits different. From a psychological standpoint, women are wired to test men. Not because they're cruel, but because subconsciously they want to know if you're the kind of man who can handle pressure. When you hold your ground and show that you respect yourself enough to walk away from anything toxic, you pass that test. And the moment she realizes she can't control you with manipulation, attraction begins to spark on a deeper level. Self-respect doesn't mean arrogance. It means drawing clear lines around how you expect to be treated. For example, if she constantly cancels plans instead of sulking or pleading, you calmly let her know that your time is valuable. If she crosses your boundaries, you don't explode in anger. You simply show that your world won't stop without her. That calm detachment is magnetic. Here's the bottom line. Women may not admit it, but they crave a man who respects himself because it signals strength, stability, and leadership. Self-respect is the foundation of every other boundary you set. And once you own it, you'll notice how differently women respond to you. 2. The boundary of independence. Independence is more than having your own money or your own car. It's about having a life, a vision, and a purpose that doesn't revolve around her. And trust me, this is one of the boundaries that makes women crave a man the most. Think of it this way. If a man has no goals, no passions, and no drive outside of a relationship, he becomes dependent on a woman for his sense of worth. That kind of energy is suffocating. But a man who sets the boundary of independence communicates that he doesn't need her. He chooses her. And that choice is intoxicating. Women are attracted to men who have their own lane. Maybe it's your career, your gym routine, your hobbies, or your passion project. Whatever it is, when you show that your world is full and exciting, she wants to be part of it. She wants to earn a place in it. The psychology here is simple. When your attention is scarce and valuable, it becomes irresistible. But here's where men mess up. Some think independence means being cold or distant. No, it's about balance. It's about being fully present when you're with her, but not making her the center of your universe. If she knows you have dreams you're chasing, friends you value, and standards you uphold, she won't see you as desperate. she'll see you as a prize. Setting this boundary is powerful because it eliminates neediness. And nothing kills attraction faster than neediness. When you're independent, you don't cling, you don't overtext, and you don't panic if she pulls away. You understand that your worth comes from within, not from her validation. That kind of confidence doesn't just turn women on, it makes them fight to keep your attention. 3. The boundary of emotional control. Here's a truth most men don't realize. Women are emotional creatures, and they're often drawn to men who can remain calm when emotions run high. Emotional control is one of the sexiest boundaries you can set. Let me explain. Picture this. A woman throws a little test your way. Maybe she gets moody, maybe she tries to push your buttons, maybe she pulls back just to see how you'll react. Most men either explode in anger or fall apart with fear. But the man who holds his frame, the one who doesn't lose his cool, instantly stands out. Why? Because it shows strength. Psychology tells us that women feel safest and most attracted when they're around a man who doesn't get swept away by chaos. Emotional control signals that you're stable, reliable, and able to handle challenges without crumbling. And here's the secret. When you keep your composure, she starts to lean into your calm energy. Setting this boundary doesn't mean you suppress emotions. It means you don't let emotions control your behavior. If she's upset, you listen but don't get defensive. If she pulls away, you don't chase, you stay steady. If she tests you, you respond with calm confidence instead of panic. Women secretly love this because it shows you're a leader. You can handle storms without sinking the ship. And that's rare in a world where most men either lash out or fall apart. Emotional control makes her respect you, but it also makes her crave the peace and stability you bring into her life. And that, gentlemen, is a boundary she will never admit turns her on, but it does. 4. The boundary of standards. The last boundary is perhaps the most important. The boundary of standards. Too many men lower their standards just to keep a woman around. But here's the paradox. When you raise your standards, you actually become more attractive. Standards mean you know what you will and won't accept in a relationship. It's not about being rigid or demanding. It's about having a clear sense of what kind of partner you want and not settling for less. Women are drawn to men who don't just accept anyone into their lives, but instead require effort, loyalty, and respect. Psychologically, this flips the script. Instead of you chasing her, she starts to chase you. She wants to prove she's worthy of being in your life. She invests more, she gives more, and she respects you more. Why? Because people value what they have to earn. Setting this boundary means you don't tolerate bad behavior. You don't ignore red flags, and you don't allow beauty to blind you. You're willing to walk away if she doesn't meet your values. And ironically, that willingness to walk away makes her want to stay even more. Here's the deeper truth. Standards protect your energy and keep you aligned with women who actually respect and desire you. And when you live by your standards, women don't just admire you, they crave you. Here's the truth most men never hear. Women aren't turned on by men who give them everything on a silver platter. They're turned on by men who have the courage to set boundaries. When you respect yourself, when you live with independence, when you hold emotional control, and when you refuse to lower your standards, you step into a league most men will never reach. You stop chasing. You stop begging. You stop being another face in the crowd. Instead, you become the man she can't stop thinking about, the man she craves. But boundaries don't just change how women see you. They change how you see yourself. And once you step into that self-respect, you'll never go back to the old version of you again. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 4 boundaries hit you the hardest? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one. And if this video opened your eyes to the hidden psychology of attraction, then do yourself a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to Psychology of Desire, and tap the bell icon. Because every week, I'll share the truths that most men will never discover, truths that could change not just your love life, but your life as a man. Until next time, remember this: women respect men who respect themselves. Set your boundaries, protect your energy, and watch how women begin to crave you without you lifting a finger.